George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Well, this week was the annual Scout Power Dinner attended by over 700 people. Keynote speaker was astronaut Eileen Collins, captain. What's the right?
Colonel.
What is
Colonel.
it? Colonel. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I was going to say, wait a minute. I think I'm not giving her proper honorific. Lieutenant Eileen Collins, and shout out to Syracuse University because she went there as a student, and of course, it was a great opportunity to learn all about scouting. So here to help us learn about scouting and Central New York and what's going on there is Ed Theetge. He's the Longhouse Council Scout Executive for the Longhouse Council, and they cover a pretty large swath of this area. He'll tell us all about that. Also joining us is Eagle Scout Lillian Lavalette from Eagle Scout 2023 in Baldwinsville, New York. She's a student at OCC, and we'll hear about her efforts as an Eagle Scout. I actually had a chance to watch her talk about becoming an Eagle Scout. And then, well, we need more scouts. And so we'll be hearing from Wilo Matan. She is the program director for the Northside Learning Center. They have an open house coming up on this Tuesday. And so we want you to know all about that. So Ed, for those who don't know, tell us about where scouting is, the territory you cover, and how people get involved.
So yes, thank you, George. Scouting currently in the Central New York area, we cover a pretty large geographic area. It's Cayuga County, Onondaga County, Oswego County, Lewis County, Jefferson County, and St. Lawrence County, which, if you don't know, St. Lawrence County is the largest county in New York State. So it is a pretty sizable area that we cover. And scouting has gone through a lot of changes in the past couple of years. We hence having Lillian on here with us. We let young ladies into the program back in 2019. So scouting is now a fully open program for all age groups from 5 years old up until 18, and even some older groups for different adventuring and exploring programs. But it encompasses both male and female participants. And I also like to tell everybody that scouting is very much a family-friendly program. So we encourage people to not just put their child in the program and walk away, but be part of it as well. So lots of fun to be had. And this year we're really putting a focus on trying to get some programs started back up in the city. Because unfortunately with COVID, which everybody remembers that, I'm sure, we took a lot of hits, a lot of programs kind of went away, and we're just trying to get them all started up again. So it's kind of where we are right now.
And so what is scouting today?
So scouting today is definitely what I would call a character development program.
Mm-hmm.
It gives young people an opportunity to really put a foundation together to give them the ability to really go out and do stuff that some young people would never do. I think Lillian will get a chance to talk a little bit about what it's done for her. But one of the things that I'm sure you saw last night with our Scout Power event was some young people, starting off with the young lady who did the Pledge of Allegiance. She is 8 years old and got up front of everybody and led the Pledge of Allegiance like it was her everyday job. And she was very, very put together and just knocked that out like there was no tomorrow. So that is what scouting really does, is it allows a young person to really experience the challenges of overcoming some fears and putting themselves forward and really just being successful at something. And little as getting in front of 750 people that you don't know and leading them in the Pledge of Allegiance is pretty impressive.
And Lillian, you did the invocation, as I recall.
I did the opening. Just the opening. But yeah, that was a very nice experience. I would say very nerve-wracking being in front of 750 people, but it's just one of those experiences that you have to learn how to overcome, because it's probably not going to be the first time I'm going to have to do something like that. And also just becoming a teacher in the future, I have to get up in front of people to talk. So I'm very thankful to have that kind of opportunity to get just kind of like my feet in the water, just kind of figure out what I might need to remember for the next time I have to do something like that.
What has scouting done for you, and why were you attracted to it? Let's start with what attracted you to scouting in the first place?
So my brother, when he was in, I believe, first grade, I was in kindergarten. Our parents put him into our local Cub Scout pack, and I just went with them because why not? And I like remember even the first day I saw how many friends he was making and how much fun he was having, and I wanted to do that. That looked like a great time. So I just went along to every single meeting. And luckily, the leaders of the pack, they just let me join and do all the activities as if I wasn't any different. And I really think if it wasn't for that original form of inclusivity, that I probably wouldn't have joined Scouts. And one of the great things about Scouts now is that there's a lot more, just like in everyday life, a lot more inclusivity. Like that's a really big aspect of everyday life, and I'm very thankful for that. And when my brother graduated from Cub Scouts and moved to our local troop, I went with him as well. And I couldn't officially join at that time. I believe they allowed girls to join around 2018, 2019, around that year. And they still let me do all the activities. They still let me try to do merit badges. I never turned them in, but I did the packets anyway for fun. And when I was finally able to join, it was like the happiest news I ever heard. Like, I can't believe it. I can finally do the program that like has shaped most of my childhood. So I think just the original form of inclusivity and all the friends we were making is what originally attracted me to scouting. Because if like it wasn't like that, I probably wouldn't have wanted to join. And I think that's one of the really most magical things about scouting is it's just such a like a great group to meet people and to have that family. And if I didn't see that, I probably wouldn't have joined.
And of course, you start as a Cub Scout, and you now became an Eagle Scout, which is the highest honor, right? In
Yes.
scouting. So how do you get to become an Eagle Scout?
So there's a couple of things you have to do. First, you have to go through all the other ranks, which is Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and then Eagle. You have to get 14 required now. A new one was added recently. 14 required merit badges, but you need to have a total of 21. And the required merit badges teach you all about life skills, like there's cooking, there's citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world. There's also physical education ones, like swimming, hiking. Hiking is one of my favorites. And you also need to have a specific number of service hours and camping hours. And I think the biggest thing that you need is like it's in the rank, you need to complete an Eagle project. My project was to build a little library for my old elementary school, which I'm very thankful I got to do a project for my old elementary school to give back to the school where like I grew up, and I was very thankful to do that. And doing all of these things really prove that you deserve to be an Eagle Scout because you put in all of these works, all of these years and hours of work, and it proves to others that you have the commitment to see something through and to complete it, and that you also have the leadership skills to lead others, especially during your Eagle project where you're the one who has to lead all of that. And doing all this stuff proves that you're an Eagle because you're willing to put in all of that work. So that's kind of what it means to be an Eagle and how you really get the Eagle rank.
And it's a title you carry with you the rest of your life, isn't it?
Yes. I am very happy to tell other people that I'm an Eagle. It was a little weird to say that at first because it was really difficult for me to get my Eagle. But now I'm so excited to tell other people. I'm so excited to tell other people about scouting in general to like get the word out there because it's such an amazing program that more people should really look into and see if it would be a good fit for them, which it's a good fit for everyone. And I think that, just telling people about it makes my soul very happy because it took a lot of work to get here. So to tell people, it's just a part of me now. Like, I don't think I could ever live without being an Eagle, and it's something that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
And you were one of 6 girls to female to get an Eagle Scout last year. Congratulations, one of
Thank you.
69 and on one of the 6 female scouts. And so starting a troop, right, is obviously you want to get more troops started all over the place. And so Willow, tell me about the collaboration that you are working with to help get a troop started there, along with Catholic Charities and the YWCA, and this open house that you got coming up.
Yeah, hi, I'm Wilo with the Northside Learning Center. We're really excited to partner with Boy Scouts of America. Our mission is to aid like in adult and youth literacy development and teaching. So we have always wanted our students to be out there and like just like doing activities or like outdoor activities, camping and all that, but we really never had the chance or great opportunities to do it. But now like partnering with CYO and YWCA and Boy Scouts of America is just a great opportunity to like we see it as like building the confidence level for students and their values align with our values too. So it's just like a great opportunity for us, and we're really excited. Our students cannot wait. And with the open houses, just been like informational sessions and very educational training type of thing. So it's really been going great. And the one that is coming, we really can't wait for it. So yeah.
That's going to be at the Northside Learning Center,
Yeah.
500 Park Street, and May 7th,
Yeah.
right after school. So
Yeah, 3:30.
right after school, 3:30 on Tuesday the 7th, right
Mhm.
after school, people can go and learn. And it sounds like you're equally as excited as that the young people are. What do you hope to learn by your association with Scouting?
Like I feel like our students have never been exposed to that outside world. And I think we hope to learn like leadership roles for both the volunteers and the students, and just like give them those values and self-esteem that for them to be out there and just to kind of help them grow into the amazing people that they want to be. And yeah, we all hope to learn actually. So
Ed, scouting is something, used to be the Boy Scouts. How did it become inclusive to include girls? Before I ask the next question.
So it was a long process. A lot of focus groups were done pre 2018, and a lot of it what got to be, and that's why I use the term, it's very family oriented, is a lot of folks were saying, why do I have to drop my son off here on Tuesday night and then go drop my daughter off someplace else on Wednesday night? And why do I, when this program just seems like it will work both for my son and my daughter? Or I grew up as a scout, a Boy Scout, and now I only have daughters, but I only know Boy Scout. I don't know the other program, so I'd love to put my daughter into into a Boy Scout program. So we a lot of focus groups just decided that maybe we should just open this up and let it be a fully family oriented program where the whole family can participate. There's nothing in our program it's has to be a boy other than our name of our organization. But to be honest, we're talking about changing the name of that as well here in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
But everything we do it could be done by either gender. So we decided there's no reason for us not to just go ahead and open it up, and that's why in 2018 they officially allowed young ladies and girls to join the Cub Scout, the very first beginning. So, and then in 2019 they allowed older girls into the scouting, which we changed to be called Scouts BSA rather than Boy Scouts. And yeah, it just seemed to be the right time and the proper fit for the scouting movement to say, hey, there's no reason for this just to be just for boys and young men. Why don't we open this up? So,
And scouting is something that I can think of when I was a kid. I was a Cub Scout, I think. I don't know. I mean, I probably went to a meeting or two and had the blue
absolutely,
uniform or whatever it was for a minute, right? But it's something that, I mean, this dinner's been going on for 56 years, and it's something that, yeah, you know it's in the community, but you're not really like conscious that it's in the community. So I'm really glad that we have this opportunity to talk about this, because we want people to recognize that this is a program that is available. And so we got this open house Tuesday, 3:30 at the Northside Learning Center. But how difficult is it to start a troop, and what are the prerequisites? How many boys and girls do you need to, and what about the volunteer leaders, and what's their qualifications? And as you think about that, Ed, because I know you can answer that in your sleep, do you still have to know how to start a fire and tie some kind of knot? It's right. That's
Yeah.
all I remember. You had to know how to do a fire and tie some kind of a knot. Am I on the right track, Lillian, or not?
Yeah.
You still have to know how to start. And what about the knot? There's some kind of knot you're supposed to be able to do, or something.
You have to do a number of knots for, I think, multiple of the rank advancements. Fun fact, they do not ask you to do a knot at your Eagle Board of Review.
Okay, there you go.
So don't worry about that part. But yeah.
There is the requirements to start in a program is you have to have at least 5 youth. They can be, mixed gender. It doesn't, have 2 girls, 3 boys, vice versa, whatever. So you need at least 5 youth, and then you also need 5 adults that are going to give some leadership to it.
Mhm.
Part of the program right now, what we got going with our partnership with the Northside Learning Center, the Catholic Charities, and the YWCA, is that they're all giving at least one individual who's going to be kind of the lead volunteer / leader for this group, and which means that the extra 2 people that are usually needed are more of the behind the scenes people. They're kind of figuring out how the finances work and how the paperwork gets done. The council itself is kind of handling that part, so we're really encouraging as many of the people, like Willow's one of them, and there's some other folks from the other agencies that are coming. They're going to be the lead faces. We also have a member of my team, Brendan Flaherty, who's going to be kind of there as well, making sure that they're taught how to do what they need to do. Volunteers do have an extensive background check. They go through an extensive youth protection training. Our youth protection training is continuously updated. Every 2 years we go through an update, and every 2 years you have to take the training. So
Mhm.
depending on when your cycle is, you may take the same training twice, but normally most people take a different training every single time they take it, because they're going to have the most up-to-date training to make sure that people are behaving in an appropriate fashion with youth, and we have rules that make it so that you couldn't ask for a safer program. Now, when it comes to tying knots and starting fires, I will tell you, I don't become scout executive because I'm the best at those things, but I am a scout, so I'm all about starting fires and tying knots, and I taught my boys how to do those, and I can still do them to this day. But that's not the most important thing about what we do. It's just it's more of a tool for teaching leadership and character development. So.
And for the starting of the troop, what's the commitment in time and things of that nature?
So the commitment in time is there's a joke that used to go around for many years. It used to be it's only an hour a week, and it's I always like to tell people when they say that to me, oh, yeah, it's 1 hour per youth in your program per week. So if you got 5 kids in your program, that's 5 hours a week. So which that tends to actually hold true. So if you got 100 kids in your program, that's a lot of hours. It's a full-time job. But it really is, the commitment is, it's what you want to put into it. The more you put into it, the better you're going to feel about what you do, and the more that your youth in your program are going to get out of it. But it is like any volunteer position that you really take pride in, it takes a lot, but it can be done, just a couple of hours a week will get you where you need to be, and you'll still have a good program and have fun. And we have facilities in Mattydale that, we can do some programs there. The Northside Learning Center has lots of space for us to be able to do some stuff there as we get going. We have a camp up in Constantia, which is only about 40 minutes from downtown, that we're going to be able to go up there with some help with transportation. So there's lots of things, and that means sometimes you're not going to meet during the week because you're going to do something on the weekend. But yeah, it can be a sizable commitment, but what you get out of it, both from teaching youth and what you learn as a person, is you can't put a price on it.
So if people want to start a troop or to go to an information meeting, there's one on the north side, Tuesday, May 7th at 3:30 for that particular cohort that's already being organized. But Ed, if there's one that people who might see or hear this, if they're sparked, what might you suggest they do?
So we have a coalition of folks that are hitting lots of different folks in the different communities in the city of Syracuse. And our hope is to have a couple more good programs that we can start up this upcoming fall. But those are very much in their infancy, so I can't really give you information on that. But that being said, if anybody listening to this is interested, you're welcome to reach out to myself directly. You can start off with our website, which is pretty easy. So it's just cnyscouts.org, and that you can find my information on there. Or if you really want to be super special and actually send me an actual email, it's my first name, full name. So it's Edwin, EDWIN, dot, my last name, THEETGE, @scouting.org.
Great. And Lillian, is there anything else you want us to know or make your pitch?
For scouting, yes. I believe I might have touched on this earlier, but some of my favorite things about scouting is just the friends that you make. They're lifetime friends. It's a true family that you make. And one of the biggest things I personally took from scouting was the leadership skills that I learned. For 3 years, I was my troop's senior patrol leader, and that's the scout chosen leader for the troop for the other scouts. So you have your adult leaders and then your senior patrol leaders. These skills really taught me how to be a leader in the sense of teaching kids with a age gap, because when I became SPL, it was like the gap of all the older kids got their Eagle and then the newer kids came in from the Cub Scouts. And because I'm going to become a teacher, those are obviously skills that I'm going to need because there's an obvious age gap between teacher and student. And it got me kind of my foot in the door. I got to learn what it was like to teach kids with an age gap. And it also taught me a lot of patience. Energetic kids want to go outside. And these skills really taught me how to be patient, because it can be really hard to be a leader. And that's a really important thing to acknowledge. It's not easy. And doing these kinds of exercises and these opportunities, which you will have in Scouts, it'll really teach you how to become a leader and patience and how to say with your words, because sometimes you need to learn how to talk to people to be a leader. That's one of the most important things I learned in scouting. And of course, camping, the merit badges, opportunities to connect with nature that other people may not really have the chance to. That's another really important thing about scouting, just connecting with nature, connecting with others, doing service work. One of the big things that we do in my troop specifically is we help the Kyle Schneider Foundation. It was made after Marine Kyle Schneider sadly passed away in Afghanistan in service. And it was started by his family to help other soldiers in need. And some of the things that my troop specifically does is we make Christmas care packages to send to soldiers all over the world. And I'm not sure, I haven't done this particular one in a while since I got in my Eagle, but we held a Take a Soldier Fishing Day where professional fishers would take these soldiers out in the water. And it would just be a day run by other people, scouts included, because we were volunteers, to help just take the soldiers away from service for a day, to help them, give them a chance to relax. Those are some of my favorite service things that we did. And just these other opportunities that I've gotten to have recently, it's just so amazing that scouting could do this for me and for others. It's a really big program that I think that everyone should have a chance to at least look into, because once someone does decide to join, then it's really a lifelong not commitment, a lifelong true, like a true change to yourself when you find what you need to grow.
A great spokesperson for scouting, Lillian Lavalette, a student at OCC. Quickly add the $24,000 question is, what's the difference between scouting and Girl Scouts?
So you asked me a question that for multiple reasons I have to be careful what I say, but the biggest difference is
well, people want to know, because
yes.
it's like, well, you changed, you made it inclusive. So what's the difference between that other
Right.
program?
So we're two different programs. First of all, we're
Okay.
run by completely different people.
Mhm.
Lots of people just assume there's an association there. There is not. We're run by completely different organizations. The difference is, to be perfectly honest, is we are a much more character driven in the sense of a well-rounded person. Girl Scouts are very focused on, having young ladies figure out their way in the world solely for them in a safe environment. And I have no problem with that. And I understand it completely. Because sometimes, Lillian, I'm sure, has experienced some boys acting like idiots, and that's a thing.
Yes.
But to be honest, putting us in that, putting a young lady and a young boy in that situation and having the proper adults to say, hey, that's not cool, I think is a good move for us as a country, as a people. But I also understand completely why young ladies would like to be in a program all by themselves and not have to deal with that. So that's really the true difference.
Appreciate that. Because if I had not asked that question, I would not be who I'm supposed to be in this work. All right.
Understand.
Listen,
Understand.
Willow, you have a program coming up on Tuesday, May 7th. Say one more thing about that and let people know how they can get involved.
So yeah, the open information session is on Tuesday, May 7th at 3:30 p.m. here at the Northside Learning Center. And so just we do have like a lot of flyers that were given to us by Ed and his team. So we already pass those around to parents and their the students that actually go here, and we hang them up on our doors and stuff like that, and we kind of post it on our social medias. So if they want to more information, they can directly reach out to me or Mr. Mark or our volunteers or CNY youth workers are here, and we will be able to help them. And then so.
All right. Scouting, cnyscout.org, I believe you said, was the website. Willow Moran from the Northside Learning Center, Theetge from the Longhouse Council, and Lillian Lavalette, Eagle Scout. Thank you all for joining us. cnyscout.org. Open house Tuesday, May 7th at Northside Learning Center, George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.